The Age of Aquarius. Around 200 years, our earthly kingdom and those who inhabit it, we undergo a change from one era or another, where each era is governed by the vibratory influence of the 12 zodiacal constellations, and each era corresponds to the features of the sign that governs it. For example, if we were in the era of Cancer, there would be an emphasis on a social environment in the family, home, fertility. If we were talking about Gemini, we would be witnessing the emphasis on communication of interaction at a more level high. We are currently transitioning from another change of era to a higher level. The Age of Pisces, to which, this Age of Pisces began around when Jesus incarnated. In the world, this era positively had to do with the arts, humanities, inclusion, religion, and mysticism, but negatively it had to do with lies, disappointments, illusion, secrets, mysteries, addictions, and schemes. Therefore, the Pisces era, it has been called the era of lies, deception, or the era of illusion. Just look around and see the residues, disappointments, and illusions. In every aspect of modern life, these deceptions were established and nurtured in the Age of Pisces. The energy extraction matrix together with the parasitic artificial system, always aim to scam us, by selling us all this illusion, its minus plus within, of this Christian paradigm where a large part of humanity is concerned with these oppressive and hierarchical unnatural systems of control, and regulation where the mass media, banks, the academic system, governments, medicine, toxic food, celebrities, and wars are all related to deception, in the order to be validated and considered acceptable. The sign Pisces are the two fish with their tails up to the tips. They swim in opposite directions. This symbolizes the struggle and the gap between the soul and matter, and this gap allows the illusion and the lie to run rampant uncontrollably in the era of Pisces, where interconnectivity, yet was ignored or removed during this time in favor of the illusion and the lie. Each fish pulls the opposite one from the other, this and the confrontation between the material and the spiritual, clearly, but, on the other hand, the bearer of the water, the Aquarian symbol, mixes the amphora with the waters below. This is emerging a mixture of the material and the spiritual, where previously everything was confronted with each other, but now, they are vibrating together in perfect union. This is what awakening and this change of consciousness that we are experiencing is moving away from the Age of Pisces to the Age of Aquarius, where we are no longer tied together anymore like fish, but now we are free to interact with our inner higher selves in a more intertwined way than previously we were not. The Age of Aquarius is the time of the fusion of opposites, where the masculine and feminine come together, the yin and yang, the time where duality can be conquered and resolved. The polarized aspects between us are being called to collaborate together now more than ever. We have the ability to carry the messages from the divine, the subtle, to the material world. Again pouring the waters from above and merging them with those below. Everything is unfolding on this earthly plane, like a celestial drama being previously played before our eyes, and this transition we are in has chapters to where in the chapter where we are currently is the lifting of the veils where the lies have been exposed first of all, to see more clearly, and now is the time where more and more people are discovering their true essence, and discovering that we are not just animals living a meaningless life, but that we are inseparable from the creative force which flows through us, and that we are multidimensional creative beings, who are experiencing this lifetime to contribute to the higher order of everything. Although the deception of disappointment was spread in the collective consciousness during the deficits, these deceptions will slowly go away fading, and we will see how liberation and harmony make their own way towards the community. However, as with all changes, there will always be those who want to continue to maintain the status quo of the old Christian system, but efforts will also grow to purge and detoxify the old system. This transition, therefore, was perhaps confusion in order to create the new paradigm based on unity and abundance, so everything that has Christian values is being exposed for what is pure illusion. Many see that as a break and think that the world is falling apart and things are getting worse and worse, but it is not the case. It is simply a breakdown of the old system in order to make way for the new. After all, we cannot rebuild anything if we do not destroy what no longer useful and expired. In this Age of Aquarium, each of us is being called to make a choice. where we can continue to adhere to the old and outdated values or adopt the new ones that make us evolve. The primary work of Aquarius is to challenge authority, tear down the existing structures and replace it expired with something better, but this is not automatic like everything else. Nothing is guaranteed. Even though the water porter calls us, it is up to us to go to that call or not, so all humanity will have to decide what direction we should take in this new age of Aquarius, and it is through the synergistic efforts of all individuals, it is how the collective consciousness will be changed. This is why the most terrible thing is happening now. Never. Why should we get rid of the habits that link us to the old, such as leaving the artificial mind, and thus returning to the heart committed to ourselves, in this deep cleansing following your process, with will and with the exact date of when the era of Pisces is still up for debate. Some said that it was in 2012 that we left this era behind. The fear sown about 2012 that it would be a catastrophic day, or doomsday, is the result of the elite's plan to transform this incredible transition into something dark and scary. The prophecies of Orwell's 1984 book, along with the multiple dystopian movies of recent calamities, have only infected us with pessimism about what to sell. It will be in this era, but there is nothing to fear. The COVID-19 pandemic, with which the Pisces era concludes, showed the reality of lies and deception. The arrival of the new astrological age of Aquarius, which is considered to belong to the field, will give rise to new principles and universal values, more real and adjusted to a universal reality, based on social justice and the brotherhood of humanity. The great events for humanity that we will see in these times: we fail to dazzle our intelligence, man will develop by leaps and bounds the power of mind and word, he will be able to cure diseases with developed powers. We are still at the dawn of the age of Aquarius. For many years the earth went through the age of Pisces. Pisces means hermit, monastery, sin, the ugly, the black, the white, the blacks there, the whites here, the rich here, the poor there, the women there, the men here. In other words, there was no rapprochement in the Pisces era, and Aquarius has been breaking all those paradigms and schemes. But the Aquarian era, that is why it is called universal brotherhood, and same-sex couples can marry, there is already a total openness, absolute, so that people can express themselves. The acceptance of each other, that has changed a lot with the age of Aquarius. We are entering this dawn of light, of a lot of light, so, no enclosures, no cover, no hiding. We must be open to changes in the world and tell the truths as they are. People like all that, although of course there are still people who are still pigeonholed to the age of Pisces. What was the time to believe? Now we are in the age of knowing. Era Aquarium is here, the transitional period is here, and now when we pour out the Aquarium healing waters, we are washing the old structures, we are planting the seeds of higher experiences, and we are renewing ourselves in all the senses. We will choose the unit or tie ourselves to the old. That is the supreme question of the moment. The energy is perfect now for healing, so keep your intentions pure, and may your heart be the harmonizing instrument of your life. Open your heart to the light. Relax, and open the change with love and pure awareness. Subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up and activate the notification bell. Thanks for watching.